What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show. Okay, so we're getting some chatter here on former President Donald Trump. We got multiple different things to cover here for you guys. On former President Donald Trump, and one of the reasons why they may not have told him about the three balloons that supposedly were flown by China over the United States during his presidency. Take a look at this. And this actually goes back to something that Trump said during his presidency and while he was president elect as well. Trump claims he doesn't need daily intelligence briefings because, quote, he's a smart person. And I'm going to show you the interview here in a second. You can see from Politico here, Trump says, quote, I don't need daily briefings. During the interview with Fox News' Chris Wallace, and he actually switched from, instead of getting daily briefings, he switched to only getting intelligence briefings once a week. So the problem with this is that it basically cut out a lot of details. Like, hey, there was some weather balloons that we may have spotted. This is before they were a big deal because obviously it made national attention this time around. But the problem is that when they were giving him daily briefings, or like a normal president would get daily briefings, Trump told him he didn't want those. They would only be able to give him weekly briefings because Trump said he didn't want them. He said, don't give them to me. Here's the interview. Hopefully I'm allowed to show this, as it won't be under copyright. If you don't see it here, it's because they copyrighted and I had to cut it. And if that's the case, you can just look it up on YouTube. But here's the clip. Take a look.
You are getting the presidential daily brief only once a week.
Well, I get it when I need it.
But is there some skepticism?
First of all, these are very good people that are giving me the briefings. And I say, if something should change from this point, immediately call me. I'm available on 1 minute's notice. I don't have to be told, I'm like a smart person. I don't have to be told the same thing and the same words every single day for the next 8 years.
Yeah, so there's former President Donald Trump confirming that he didn't want the daily briefings anymore, and he only wanted to go to once a week briefings. The problem is that they're not telling you the same thing every day. They're giving you what the daily happenings are for the entire country. And we know that every day there's new stuff happening for the whole country and around the world too. What happened in other countries that the president needs to know about. So the problem is that the U.S. intelligence and the Navy, the Army, everything, they basically condense down only into what is important for that time that the president would allot them for the 1 week, for the half an hour or the hour, whatever he had, instead of 7 days worth. So the question is that the reason? The other thing is that maybe they said, oh, hey, there was a weather balloon spotted. Did he not care about it or not know about it, or was it just brushed off? Is another question. Because the thing is that was it not really a big deal? Yeah. So the other thing you got to really recommend or really think about is that you don't bother the president with every single thing. If you're an army general or if you're a major or commander, you don't run to the president with every single thing. Oh, we spotted a balloon. Let's run to the president. Oh, there's a problem with our infantry. Let's run to the president. Oh, we spotted a person from China. Let's run to the president. You don't run to the president about every single thing. So now this story made it as a major headline, but if you watch my previous video here where we had a person talking about, oh, these balloons, they're actually kind of common. They happen more than you would think. Yeah, so again, how many things like this could have made national attention that didn't? And how often would you run to the president to bother him, especially in a president that doesn't want daily briefings and only wants to even be bothered once a week with intelligence briefings. And how much intelligence did he miss out on? You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Also, here is what Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says they're going to be looking at here going forward. Take a listen here.
How ridiculous the hypocrisy, though, that balloons under Trump floating over Hawaii, Texas, and Florida, and these Republicans don't say a word.
Here's the confusing part, too, not to get too deep into the balloon.
Yeah.
But the criticism is, why didn't Joe Biden do anything? He's weak on China. It's like they watched half the movie and didn't make it to the end.
Yeah.
Right.
The American military shot down the balloon. They just didn't want it to rain down 3 school buses on Billings.
And by the way,
there's one other really important point. They wanted it to be shot down over water in the continental United States because they could recover it much better. If it goes into land, if the pieces go onto land, they burn and crash. And now we are going to look, our intelligence people are truly excited about getting to see what this balloon saw, how the balloon works. It's a real intelligence coup. And the military was great. They said we want it shot down over water, but in U.S. territorial waters. As you know, that's only 12 miles off the coast. It was 7 miles off the coast, and the Sidewinder got it.
Shut it down. Yeah. So we want to get to the State of the Union in a second, but I want to follow up with China. We're talking about China last segment. We're talking about the balloon now. How important is it that the U.S. sends the Secretary of State or the President of the United States to talk to Xi again? How important is it that we continue our dialogue with the Chinese, even if we disagree with them on most points?
Look, as you know, I've been a China hawk for a very long time, long before most people were. Yeah. But the bottom line is I think the Biden administration handled it just right. Postpone it, but don't cut it off. China is still the second biggest power in the world. China is the second biggest economy. They are a military rival and threat. Talking to them never hurts. I think the Chinese feel, it was a great, they were really eager to have Blinken come because this was their step back into the world post-COVID. And by withholding it, Biden said, we mean business. And in fact, I've talked to leaders in the administration. We may do other things about China as well, but to stop talking to them does not make sense.
No.
So we clustered some moments together. Here's how that default thing played out. Here's President Biden, also Mike Lee's response. Take a look.
Oh, yeah.
Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. I'm not politely not naming them, but it's being proposed by some of you. Look, folks, the idea is that we're not going to be moved into being threatened to default on the debt if we don't respond. Folks,
the President of the United States looked us right in the eye and mischaracterized what half the people in the chamber believe, what half the people in the chamber, according to him, want. It wasn't true. He looked a little bit confused when he pushed back on it.
I'm here right now to tell you one thing that you probably haven't ever heard from a politician. It will be my objective to phase out Social Security, to pull it up by the roots and get rid of it. Here. People who advise me politically always tell me that's dangerous, and I tell them, in that case, it's not worth my running. That's why I'm doing this, to get rid of that. Medicare and Medicaid are of the same sort and need to be pulled up.
So, Senator, you have Mike Lee, first of all, acting shocked. He says Biden looks confused. He's the one that was looked confused in his seat. Like, who's ever proposed sunsetting Social Security and Medicare? Well, first of all,
Mike Lee. Mike
Lee did. He doesn't even want to sunset it, wants to destroy it, according to that clip. And then you have the head of the Republican Senate campaign, Rick Scott, who put it in on paper and said, here is our plan for candidates out there to run on to sunset all programs, including Social Security and Medicare, every 5 years. And they're booing reality.
Yeah. And Rick Scott ran for leader of against Mitch McConnell and got 10 votes.
Right.
On this platform. And it's not just him. I think the Republican leadership has a plan to eliminate the deficit in 10 years. If you eliminate the deficit in 10 years, that sounds like a noble goal. There is no way you don't slash Medicare and Social Security. So this has been around the Republican right wing for a very long time. And Joe Biden was so deft. He let them walk into his trap. He rope-a-doped them. And now all of America has seen the Republican Party saying, no, we're not going to cut Social Security and Medicare. He did a service. Right. He took that evil virus, if you will, in the right wing saying cut it and sort of got rid of it. It was great.
It was incredible.
It was great. It was a wonderful moment, and it showed the deftness of this president.
So, Senator, do you think last night erased any question of whether or not President Biden is running for re-election?
Well, you know, I can't answer that. I can answer this. He cares so much about working families that he was going to give this speech, running or not. Okay.
So what do you think about what Republicans have said? If you watched my previous video, you've seen what Republican Senator Mike Lee said previously. And if you watch my previous video, you know what Rick Scott said and what Republican Senator Ron Johnson said. Rick Scott and Ron Johnson just got reelected for 6 more years. So obviously this must be popular because they keep getting reelected. So people must like what they're saying. And so let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date here. But this is the truth. So this is when you see what people are saying, when you see their proposals, when you see their bills. You know, Rick Scott has this actual proposal in writing. This is the truth. So that's kind of part of my YouTube channel, is to show you guys this stuff here so you can see it in writing. I like to show you it here when you can see it in writing, when you can see their actual statements and stuff. That's part of what, and from both parties, Republicans, Democrats, no matter where it's coming from. I'll keep you up to date here on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here's some videos you can watch next. You can click here to watch my newest video on the 2023 Social Security Expansion Act that would raise Social Security benefits by $2,400. And here's my newest video to see what the other Republicans said about cutting Social Security. You can click that video here. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.